Get ready for your unofficial dental hygiene podcast. These are the tales of two hygienists, one East Coast RDH and one West Coast hygienist. Listen as they tackle the profession of dental hygiene with humor and enthusiasm. Now, please join Michelle Strange and Andrew Johnston as they tell you a tale of two hygienists. Well, hello, listeners. Welcome to a tale of two hygienists with Michelle and Andrew on location.
On location. On a cruise location.
We're not really sure where we are. Somewhere in the Caribbean. Or the Gulf.
Gulf of Mexico.
There you go. I don't know where I am. We're on a boat. We're at Smiles at Sea right now.
This is the last day.
Yes.
Smiles at Sea.
Yes.
And so we thought it fitting maybe to give a little bit of a recap of what we've been up to and what y'all been missing.
Yeah. Before we forget.
That was a you all.
Just combine it and get over it.
I'm not going to.
Just say y'all. Say it.
You all.
I'm going to make you lose one day you're going to lose a bet, and it's going to be that you have to say y'all 10 times.
We'll see about that.
10 times. So we are in the library on the ship right now.
The library's not as quiet as I was hoping.
It's not as quiet, unfortunately.
I was hoping that there'd be like a librarian here telling people shh.
Well,
except
wouldn't
for
they be telling us to shush?
Yeah. But there's this. Okay, so listeners, let me kind of try and tell you how this little layout is. We have just outside of this little window that's in front of us is like a balcony, and then there's like live music and stuff going on downstairs, and the bar, and then just down the like up a flight of stairs and across is the sports bar, and there's a lot of people walking to and fro.
Yeah.
So it's very loud here, so we're sorry about all that.
Yeah, it is, but it's a cruise. So this was a 4-day cruise, which I believe in the future will not be. It'll be a 3-day cruise.
We just heard, yeah, it's going to be a 3-day cruise.
And so we can tell you what we experienced on this cruise, but know that it's going to be a little bit different in the future.
Let's start with day one.
Day one, we were in New Orleans. That's where this left from. I think in the future, Miami. That's where where the port will be.
We were on Carnival this time, and it will probably not be on Carnival again in the future.
Bye-bye, Carnival.
Yeah.
Good riddance. So we did the first day on land exhibit from 7 to 1, and then we boarded
Listeners,
the ship.
guess how long we were there at the exhibit hall?
How long?
With our little table. Probably, 10:30?
Sure. We have T-shirts now, though, which
yes,
is
listeners,
really
we have T-shirts. Cool. Please buy our T-shirts.
Yes, please buy a T-shirt.
$15.
We're making no money. I don't even know why we're pushing this other than I want to get my money back.
Yeah, and so if you love us and you want to support us, whoa, bless you, Michelle. Oh, and twice. She's a double sneezer, everyone.
I am a double sneezer.
I'm also a double sneezer.
Good, no.
But buy our shirts, $15 a piece.
Yeah.
We have tanks and T-shirts. And they're awesome.
They are. They're really
We've actually sold more than I thought we were going to sell, to be honest.
Oh, that's great. I don't even know how many we sold.
Probably almost 10, probably.
Well, we were selling our shirts at the exhibit hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out before we loaded the boat, me and Carrie, and got a bottle of wine for everyone to smuggle in for me.
Can we go before that, though?
Sure.
Before your bottle of wine? Can we tell about the awesomest place that we ever ate?
Oh, Mother's Greasy Spoon or something like that. Greasy.
I don't know about the Greasy Spoon part, but Mother's.
Delish.
That's what it's called. It is on, I don't know. I don't remember the cross streets.
Down the street from the Hilton, Bayview, or Riverfront, or whatever that's called.
Yeah, okay.
Delicious. Good Southern New Orleans fare.
I had seafood etouffee, and I also had red beans and rice, which is delicious.
And a busket.
And a biscuit. What?
I say it's a busket.
Busket?
It was a busket.
A busket. I had
a good old Southern busket.
And my brother Mike was there, and he had jambalaya, because the jambalaya we had at the comedy club the night before.
No bueno.
Oh, I guess we actually did. We didn't start day one. We started day two. Day one, we came in, and we went out to a comedy club and went to Bourbon Street, and we did that Facebook Live thing that you all saw. And we had a lot of fun that day, too. But anyways, so Mike was disappointed in the jambalaya he had at the comedy club.
Yeah.
And so we had some good jambalaya finally. And he had...
What was that you had? Creole.
And what did you guys add butter to? A bunch of...
Grits.
Grits. Oh, that's right. He had grits.
The grits were not impressive.
Not very good. So don't get the grits over at Mother's. Yeah. But everything else is fantastic.
Yeah. Shrimp Creole, fantastic. And so...
What'd Carrie get?
Some kind of sandwich with lots of meat.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I don't know what it was. So, yeah. Then I got a bottle. I got 6 bottles of wine and got one person.
Okay, so here's
you
the
get
rules.
One bottle of wine to
Right.
bring in
You
per
can't
person.
bring in more than one.
Yeah, per
and
person.
It's not. You can't bring giant bottles of wine. It's just
the normal bottle of wine.
750 milliliters, whatever.
It's great for me. And then we boarded the boat. And then that night was our beginning speech, and then dinner.
Oh yeah,
Bernie
that's right.
Stoltz spoke,
Bernie
and
Stoltz.
then we had dinner, and we recorded podcast stuff because we're big losers. But I'm sure everybody else.
Did we
went
do
up.
podcast stuff that night?
Yeah, we did that night.
What did we do?
All
What did we
our
talk
intros
about?
and stuff, man.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Jeez. Everyone else had a great old time. Stayed out really late, which kind of sucked.
Can I shout out to Mike again?
Yeah.
I mean,
Brother Mike.
Brother
Mike.
He really helped us he was our what do you call it? The
Focus group.
Focus group Mike helped us out with our transitions. So that is why we are now moving forward and off of hiatus starting
Officially
after
off of
this episode.
hiatus.
That's really exciting and really makes me happy.
Yeah. And so we did that, and then the next morning was super early.
7
a.m. classes.
And you had to get up at 7 a.m. Oh, you had to get up way before that.
I had to be down there at 6:30 a.m. because I was the first speaker of the conference, which was early. But I was impressed.
First time I ever saw you speak.
Yes.
And you didn't suck.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sure that's the best compliment I could get from you.
I got you a chair earlier. That was almost like a compliment.
That was a gesture. I think this is
Okay.
a compliment. That
was a nonverbal
me
compliment.
not sucking is about as good as it's going to get.
Well, if you listen to Anastasia today, it's all about body language, and that was my body language complimenting
Okay.
you.
So the classes were from 7 to... Who's behind me?
No, I don't know where I came up with any of that stuff.
Okay.
That was crap.
So from 7 to what, 1?
7 to...
There was 2 rooms where kind of, if you
1.
could pick classes either or, you could go between them.
Yeah, there
We
was.
stayed in one room and then went to another.
And so, hold on. What are they? Foreshadowing, right? That's what they call it. So, foreshadowing, listeners. We went to the Legal Shield one.
Yeah.
And it was so good that we interviewed Ben Hilger from Legal Shield. And
Coming
that
up
would be
in a future episode.
much future episode since we have like 15 of them logged
know.
now. So,
Yep. So that was great. And then that afternoon, we had speed dating vendors from 3 to 5 where Andrew and I got up there. I was drunk. I was intoxicated. I was not drunk.
you were pretty tipsy.
I was a bottle into that one.
You were a glass too far into what your normal.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
It's okay though. I recorded it. I'll try and find a way to post it.
You recorded that?
I did.
You ass.
Okay. So here's the thing. So let's talk about the speed date your vendor thing because I think that's actually a really, really cool
I do too.
addition to what they have. So first of all, you're going to get CE next time that you come on the cruise. It'll be offered. It is a very quick 2 hours of all the vendors, instead of going around to all their booths or all their tables or whatever, they are one at a time. They have 10 minutes each. They stand up on stage and give you their spiel. And you can go and talk to them later if you want or whatever. But the cool part was, in between all of them, they had Zerk was giving away prizes,
Yes.
Zerk prizes. So, and they had some really good prizes.
Zerk mirrors, which are the bomb diggity.
The Crystal HD mirrors.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've known about those mirrors for years and years, and they are ones that I've used in my practice.
We got a few extras that were going to take on our mission trip with us. So.
Yeah.
So that happened, and it was really good. So it's not like I feel like a lot of people just go around, and we did the whole stamp thing too, and people weren't always interested in that, but at least this kept it interesting because there was a drawing for these Zerk prizes, and so every 15 minutes there was a new drawing. So basically, in between all the vendors, so it was nice. It was really good.
Yeah. And so then we had dinner that night, right?
We did.
3 to 5.
And then let's talk about dinners too, because you're on a cruise. It's all the food's included or whatever, and it was great. But the cool thing about our little group is, was there 15, 17, 20 of us, whatever?
Yeah.
Like, we all just got to talk and sit next to someone that's maybe a distant friend and get to know them a little bit more.
has been really, really enjoyable.
I think my surprise of the cruise was Debbie Z.
Oh.
I think I liked her. I always liked her because she's a great person.
Gotten to know her a little more.
It's going to come out wrong. I wasn't sure how authentic she was at first.
Oh, okay.
Only because I've seen her from pretty afar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we interviewed her, and I didn't really know her during the interview, and we didn't really talk about a lot of like personal stuff during the interview.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much about the National Cancer Network.
Yep.
And so, but no, she is such a sweetheart. She's
She
such a loving, giving, genuinely kind, beautiful woman. So,
Yes.
So that's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks too, her episode. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
A lot of vacuuming.
That was great. And then the next day was excursion day. And you did have to go, you could go visit the exhibitors that morning and then get off the boat and go into Cozumel. You went with your brother and
we did some really awesome things.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike and I decided that we want to do adventures rather than sitting by the beach and doing whatever everyone else is doing. And so we looked at different packages. We were going to go. There's actually a girl from Willamette that my company that I work with that was there, and she invited us to go on the tour of the Mayan ruins and things like that. When we went to go sign up for it, it's already sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So
book ahead, folks.
Book
Don't
ahead,
be like
folks.
us.
So Mike and I just went on shore, and we found just a random guy that was selling packages and stuff. And at 9:58, we signed up for the 10 o'clock tour. It's an ATV tour, so it did ATV through the jungle.
That sounds cool.
And we saw lots of lizards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was really fun. And then after the ATVs, we went to a private beach where we went on wave runners, jet skis. And Mike was... So I drove first for a little bit. This is the first time I've ever been on one.
Oh, wow.
And then Mike drove second, and he dumped me. So thank you for that, Mike. I lost my glasses and my bandana in the depths of the sea. So my sunglasses that were really cheap anyways. I didn't really care about them.
I was going to say, but you got some on your head, and you're looking good.
I got new ones.
You're all right, then.
I'm looking good. Thanks, Michelle. What a
No,
compliment.
I mean, you're looking
Dude,
better.
You compliment. Don't take it back now.
Anyway.
Okay, so
try not to give those.
Then, at that same place, they had $1 a minute fish eat your dead skin off of your feet.
Yes,
tank.
we both experienced this.
So, okay, hold on. Have you had that before?
No.
What are the odds that we both go to different places and do that
it
the same day? That's pretty insane. So tell me about your stuff, though.
It was the most weird experience ever. It was crazy. I would totally do it again.
How would you describe the feeling?
Carrie actually described it very well, that it's when your foot goes to sleep and it's coming back and it feels all tingly. That's what it felt like.
For me, it felt like if you put your foot on a jet, in a
hot tub
kind of thing, only a gentle one, not like a really aggressive one. The only weird part for me was like when they got in between my toes. that part was kind of a little bit weird.
We're recording a podcast.
I know. These kids these days are so loud.
I know. At least they're doing something with their hands and not video games.
That's true.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I ended up going to a resort because my plan was to go on the excursions with you guys. But I think with all my travels these last few months, and I've gone to Uganda and had I'm going to Nicaragua, we're going to Nicaragua, and I'm going to have excursions there. It's just like I haven't had a moment of just like laying on a beach.
Sure. Sure.
And so after doing early mornings the day before, we never did get to go outside in the sun. We didn't really get to do it much yesterday or today until the very end. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to Cozumel and coming back pale. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
I went with a group of us, our buddy Sarah. We saw
Shout
Elijah
Sarah.
there.
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah Thiel, CE
And
Zoom,
Phil. What's up,
and
Phil?
Her hubby Phil, who is hilarious.
He's never
Love you too.
he's never going to listen to this podcast.
No, but Sarah might. She'll tell him. And so we all just kind of went to a resort, which was like $55, and you can all you can drink, eat, but what's funny is that you can't do anything though. Like it's all inclusive, but there's no you have to pay snorkeling, you have to pay for like the water things.
So it's all-inclusive food and drink.
Exactly.
That's all it was.
It was
And sit on our beach
exactly.
with
the
umbrellas
massages,
and stuff.
you had to pay for the fish thing. I got a henna tattoo, which is pretty cool. You like it, right? That was a nice one.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. What was it of? Is it just
Peacock feathers.
Was that what it was? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't take a good look at it.
That's my future tattoo.
In that same spot?
Yeah. I was testing it out. That's why I got it.
Listeners, you do not want to know where that tattoo is.
Oh, shut up.
She is.
Oh my God.
It's on the small of her back.
A good old tramp stamp. So that was yesterday, and then we had the whitening ball where we last night where everybody dressed in white.
Did we interview people before that though? When did we interview Elijah?
The day before.
That was the day before. By the way, we interviewed Elijah too.
Yeah.
That's what you're listening to after we are done talking.
Exactly.
By the way,
hear Elijah. And the whitening ball was great, 2 hours. My problem with the whitening ball, not the whitening ball in general, but just last night, was when we turned and left, it was a little rougher.
Oh, the water was.
And I haven't gotten sick. I'm not nauseous. I've been wearing my little bands. But I have felt, listeners, for you drinkers, when you close your eyes and you get a little bit of that spinny feeling when you're going to sleep, that was kind of how it's been for me on this cruise. I'm not nauseous. I'm not uneasy, like stomach-wise, but it's just like one like movement. It's like my equilibrium, it just keeps going in my head, and I feel like so off-center.
Huh.
It's very strange. So because the party was on the back of the boat in one of the dining rooms, and that was rough for me. So I was not up to the partying. Plus, I took a nap. Plus, we were in the sun all day. Plus, I was having free drinks. So, I mean, it was probably a little combination of things.
Right.
But otherwise, it was fantastic. I danced. You chatted up like a little girl because we brought you back a Monster, and you were on Monster High.
Okay.
And you were just such a little butterfly everywhere.
You always skip to the punchlines of the stories. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the not the waves and the way that it's actually a lot less movement than I thought I was going to feel.
Yeah, I would have said that.
I do get car sick on occasion. On certain things, I'll get car sick on. Like I'm usually okay, but I don't know. I did wear the patches behind my ear, and I haven't felt sick at all. Okay. And you can feel it just lilting a little bit to and fro, but it's not too bad most of the time. And then for the whitening party, I didn't actually bring any white clothes for that, so I wasn't going to go. And then my shoes got all muddy from our excursions, so I didn't have shoes to wear. And then, hold up.
Listen to outside.
Please hold. Yep, close it on the way, buddy. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And so I went in just kind of about 10 minutes before it started, just to say hi to everybody. And Elijah was there, and he's just like, hey, my brother was there with me, and he wasn't going to go either. And he's like, you guys need to come back. I'll be very offended if you don't come back, and whatever. So as a favor to Elijah,
oh, he's the one that convinced you.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, pretty much do anything for that guy. So, you know. And so
good. I'm glad he did.
Yeah. And so I went back.
You were representing a Tale of Two Hygienists yesterday.
And I had, and then you and Carrie had brought, supposedly Mike and I, 2 monsters. But the way you said it was, I have a surprise for you. Well, that's what Carrie said. And I said, okay. And she handed them both to me, even though Mike was right there. And didn't hand them to both of us. And I thought it was like one monster drink from both of you guys to me.
No.
But I downed one and a half of them before the party because I just can't do it. And I did 2 of those little mini rock stars while I was there too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Andrew.
So if you want me to be social,
that's insanity.
If you want me to be social, that's how much it takes. That's how much drinking I have to do.
Y'all, literally, there wasn't a moment that I didn't see Andrew at a new table with new people I had never even seen while on this cruise. It was, I wasn't sure if I was impressed or like, should he go see a doctor? I was a little concerned about you.
You're mostly impressed.
A little, but then I was like, maybe is his heart going to just burst all of a sudden? Well, mid-sentence.
Well, I mean, Feels okay right now.
You weakened your heart a lot last night. I can
No, I
sense
didn't.
it.
No, I was just giving it exercise.
Sure.
That's what happens.
So that was whitening party.
Whitening party. It was really great, and was it? I can't remember the company that was it the hot towel?
Oh, hot towels. Yeah.
I can't remember the company.
White
hot towel.
Fresh. Oh no. White towel. It's
The
called
White
White
Towel?
Towel. Yeah.
White Towel Services.
Yeah, White Towel Services. There you go.
So,
They
anyways,
sponsored it, and then we all went to
thank
dinner
you
and we
for
took
that.
lovely pictures. And Andrew and I have great pictures in front of
Oh
the young.
my gosh!
They had like a little photo red carpet moment,
Yeah.
and those will come, guys. They're fantastic.
It is.
They sum up our
minus
relationship perfectly.
my flip flops that I'm wearing and my non-white clothes that I'm wearing.
What was so great is like I am all in this like cocktail dress, and you're just like.
And you had your little mask thing too. Did you have a
I
mask?
don't know if I had it on that one.
You didn't have it on, but
No,
you had
but
it
I
with
did have
you.
my mask. Yeah.
Looked good.
Yeah. Well, those pictures I think sum up our relationship.
Pretty much. I'm always trying to push you away, and you keep coming back. That's what it looks like.
Be friends with me, please.
So that was that.
Yeah. And then today was a little sleep-in day, which was nice.
Yeah.
We actually went upstairs on deck at like, 7:30, 8 o'clock?
Which is funny you say sleep in, but yeah, like
I know.
it was not
like
much
10
of a
a.m.,
sleep
but
in.
Got up and had coffee on the deck, and the sun was rising. It was fantastic. And then we did Speed Date Your Vendor again this morning. And we had 2 lectures, Anastasia, coffee chats with Anastasia and her new husband, Dr. David Rice.
Which was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was because you can give like audience feedback and questions. And then
I like Dr. Rice, I'll be
yeah,
honest.
I do too.
I would let
Ignite
him work
DDS.
on my face.
Check that out, Ignite. They actually have a new dental assistant side, apparently.
Oh, really?
So, dental assistants, check that out. Ignite DA, maybe. So that's cool. And then Bernie did his last thing. I skipped out.
I didn't. It was awesome.
I did. I went to the pool.
Although I did skip half of it, and then I went out to the pool with you.
Yeah,
And
I went.
then I came back
And
at the end. And it was just
Here
wrapping
we
up.
are.
And so that is a wrap up in about 20 minutes,
Yeah.
listeners, of our cruise. Big picture impression, like overall, would you scale of 1, this is like the worst suckdom ever, and all the way to like 10 is like the greatest moment of my life?
I think it's at a 7.
I would say, yeah, solid, 6 to 7,
Solid
somewhere
7.
in there.
I think it depends on where you are and what. I
Like in
think
your
the more-
life, or like,
yeah, kind of.
or like
or your
geographically,
career.
what
No,
cruise
I
you're
think
on.
this is going to be a great experience for some, and for me, I think I would like to be home. It's been a long few months of travel for me. I think if this had been spaced out, and this has nothing to do with the cruise itself, it's just my work schedule. I think if I had had a moment break to be home and then did this, I think it would have just been fantastic for just relaxing, enjoyable, and CE. But needless to say, I think it's for me because I was going to bed early at night because I was so tired. But
Well, I think, though, while they maybe don't want to compare themselves... shut that door. While they don't want to compare themselves to Career Fusion, like it was very Career Fusion-esque. And I guess what I mean by that is more like when you go and you have all these people that are the big names in dentistry all in one room, all willing to help, all willing to give free advice and mentor you. And
the relationships here, that's the nice thing. It's like, I don't want to say you're stuck on a boat, but you kind of are stuck on a boat.
You're
and
forced.
You might be next to someone at the slots or at dinner or by the pool, and you can learn and cultivate some of those really great relationships, the professional relationships, not just between hygienist and hygienist, but hygienist or dental professional and vendor, and then vendor and vendor, which was nice.
I feel like a lot of the vendors and other vendors really kind of had, well, they all know each other for the most part.
Yeah,
anyways,
I was going to say, I mean, we spend a lot of time together in an exhibit hall, so you get to know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's different though, right? Because like even like on land and stuff, after you guys are done at the exhibit hall, you break down your stuff and then you go. You're done.
Some of us hang out afterwards.
I like how people just slam that door. Made me happy. At least they're all gone now.
Yeah, it's quiet in the library now.
So you had a good experience. Would you come back?
Sure.
Would you recommend this to our listeners?
Yeah, I'm actually really would love for my friends come on the dental nursing one.
So that's in
super
April.
Excited
And
about
you'll
that
hear more about that in this episode coming up with Elijah a little bit. But
there will be dentistry meets nursing, whatever that means, or something like that. And I have a lot of friends that are nurses, and I think it would be fantastic for us to all learn in a collaborative setting. I think that's very important.
I'm very interested to see how they take that.
Yeah.
And I will be there, listeners, for sure.
No, because Andrew...
I won the grand prize.
He won literally the last prize of the giveaway. And you and I were sitting at the same table, and you were like, I'm going to be so upset if I don't win this. But if I win this, I'm taking you with me. No one witnessed that. So now, Andrew has won it. They called his name. I almost fell out of the damn chair, y'all. And they called your name. You go up there, and you come back, and you're already negotiating with 4 people to take them on this trip.
Well, see, I'm just keeping my options open.
No loyalty.
And I said on the microphone when he said, "Is there anything you want to say?" I said, "Yeah,
I
can be bribed."
Yeah,
so
no loyalty.
I got a bunch of people that were trying to bribe me already. So I'm trying to think of like the pecking order of like how that would go. We have. Do you mind closing that door when you come?
Oh, you're just getting that. Sorry.
Thanks.
God, people. Oh wow.
She's a little bit dumb. Go ahead and close it. Anyways. So the grand prize was tuition and cruise for free.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. So here's what we're going to do, listeners. Elijah also let us know that we're going to be doing another drawing. So if you want to come to the cruise with us, then let us know. And we'll figure out a different way to.
Yeah.
Should we do the story time with Michelle again, or just we'll figure something else out?
Yeah.
But it's only for our loyal listeners. So if that's you, if you know that that's you,
yes.
I'm thinking of Lisa in particular. Like when I said that, I don't know why.
Look at there playing favorites.
No, I'd seen her at one of these last conferences, and so I'm like, and she actually said something. I'm like, oh, you do listen to the podcast. Anyways, shout out to Lisa. Anyways, yeah. So if you want to come on the cruise and you want to do it for free, I mean, you have to pay for your cruise, but the tuition's free.
The tuition for your CE.
So yeah, that part's all
great. Truly.
And it'll be nice. So
since this is becoming a popular place, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we should. So, how should we end this?
Come on, Smiles at Sea.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good.
We're back from hiatus, technically.
Or we're back. Enjoy all these episodes that are coming out. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
And
teach
buy our T-shirts.
Podcast. Yeah, buy our T-shirts and then teach. That's the one thing I think I'm taking from all of this is that people don't know what the hell a podcast is.
Right. Yeah, they don't.
We need to teach people because, quite frankly, the dentists are kicking our butts.
They are.
The dentists
by a lot.
are beating hygiene in the fact that they understand podcasts, they understand how they can get this CE on demand, but in a fun way, stay up to date, stay current, hear the speakers that they might not hear when they're in one part of the country. It's so good, and you need to tell people about this because otherwise they're going to get left behind. And quite frankly, I don't want the dentist to beat us anymore.
That's right. We're competitive, dang it. Oh, and speaking of dentists, Voices of Dentistry.
VoicesOfDentistry.com.
Come see us in Nashville in January
26th, 27th.
All right. We love you guys. Enjoy this episode.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Hey, Michelle.
Yeah?
It's time for the interview.
Oh, but I had something else to say.
We need to let the experts talk now.
Fine.
Listeners, hello. This is Andrew.
And this is Michelle.
This is, we're at Smiles at Sea right now, so this is going to come out...
Okay, I've been drinking a lot, and we totally kick people out of the library.
Yeah, we commandeered the library here at Smiles at Sea. And the best part about this particular episode...
We have commandeered Elijah Desmond.
Not only the library, but the Elijah Desmond. Elijah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, let me just say, phenomenal turnout. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people. Everyone's having a great time. You couldn't think of a better venue than a cruise to have CE. This is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. And we appreciate for our listeners that you gave away 2 free tuitions for this cruise.
Such a good friend to the show.
Yes. We
You're
appreciate
so very
you.
generous, man.
Yes.
So generous.
So there'll be actually 2 more that I'm going to give you for April.
Ooh,
mouth.
nice. I love it.
awesome.
What a guy.
That means one of us has to come. No, okay. So, okay. Everyone knows you. We've seen you on social media. I mean, at some point you've seen Elijah's name on something.
You have to have, unless you're living under a rock.
Or you're not on social media.
Underneath the ocean, like Mike. Not on
social media.
social media. My brother Mike.
We're
No
converting
Facebook.
him slowly.
Wow.
And we've been shaming him through the podcast and Facebook
we've kinda
Live and
shamed
stuff
him
like
a few
that.
times.
So
But, okay, so I want to know, because I've actually listened to a few of your podcasts, but not everyone listened to it, the video blogs, things like that.
Yes.
I want to know from a hygiene background, because I see you from social media,
Yep.
I see you from the business side of it. Where did it start? Like, why did you go into hygiene?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you go into hygiene? And what did you do? And then what made you move past that?
Okay, so I guess we'll go right before hygiene. And right before hygiene, I went into early childhood education. So at 15 years old is when I tested into college. And I went full-time at 16. And I went into early childhood education because I just have a strong passion for kids, helping kids. I just love kids.
God bless you.
And so I decided I would do early childhood education. However, I come from a business family, and you know my dad got Businessman of the Year in Canton, Ohio, and he has multiple businesses as well. And so I love business. I also love to live a good lifestyle. And
don't we all?
Yeah.
And I heard how much
Yeah.
the teachers made. And educators
And
are...
shout out to all of my friends that are teachers.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, teachers. You guys are
Thank you.
doing a great job.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't make $8 an hour. Or
No.
10 or 12 or 14.
Shameless
No,
that
yeah.
we pay teachers.
Especially early childhood education teachers. Like that's the foundation of the rest of your life.
Truly.
But yet we spend no money there, and we spend all kinds of money in college.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Go on for days for this topic, truly.
So anyways, I started there, and I found out that. And then since I decided I needed to choose something different, it was only natural to go with what a lot of my family was in, so dentistry. And I didn't want to work in hot air. I would need something that was air conditioned because I was raised on a farm, baling hay and being in the hot on tractors.
Is this Ohio?
Yes, in Ohio, shoveling crap.
Manure is what I thought it was
Manure?
called. No?
Yeah, manure, shit, all the same thing.
Whatever you can.
We are no longer clean on our podcast.
Yeah, by the way,
I
you're
have
not. We went away
changed
from
that because I can't stop cussing.
I got tired of
apparently.
editing her mouth all the time, so we just like it's explicit now. Say whatever you want.
Say whatever your heart desires,
Okay,
Elijah.
well, I guess I asked before I said it before I asked.
No, no. I just want you to feel
Anyways.
comfortable
No,
with that
I
word.
I
'cause I love it too.
I feel totally comfortable. But I was not comfortable with shoveling shit. So I wanted to do something where I was in air conditioning and something that I thought would be a lot easier than working as a construction worker in the hot sun.
Hot sun.
But I wanted to do something where I made enough money to where I could turn that money into other things.
Yeah.
And I know it takes money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And so what better than our amazing field of hygiene?
Wait, so what were your family? What did your family do in dentistry?
So
Hygiene?
I have an uncle that's a dentist.
Okay.
My aunt is a dental hygienist.
Okay.
My mom has been an office manager now for over 20 years.
In dentistry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Nice.
so in your blood.
Yeah, in the
Yep.
blood. But I knew I didn't want to stay in there. I knew it was just it was a matter of time before I
More
got
of a
out.
means to an end.
Yep. I just didn't know what businesses I was going to do or where I would end up, but I knew it was just the start. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I graduated from the Ohio State University.
I'm just going to say South Carolina beat y'all 1 year.
When?
2 years.
What year?
2 years, actually.
1926?
No,
Or-
no. And 2 Outback Bowls, actually.
When was this?
2000, I want to say 4 or 5?
Mm-mm. National champs in 2005. What are you
No,
talking
okay.
about?
If I had internet on the ship, I would find out for
Just
you.
buy it. I don't believe you.
2 Outback Bowls, Ohio State. Was it Ohio State?
First of all, it's
maybe you're talking about OU,
The.
Ohio University.
Who is the Ohio State?
They don't get beat by South Carolina.
Oh,
No.
I guarantee you. You and me. I have internet access after this podcast. 2 years we beat Outback Bowl. 2 years. Continuing on in our podcast. So OU, and then you went to Hawaii.
Yes. So there was a shortage of over 400 dental hygienists in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah. And remember,
But they're like sending out their homeless people, right?
Yeah, they're
bringing in the hygienists.
something like that.
I feel like this is a good exchange rate.
Right. So I decided to go there, and I knew I didn't want to stay in the farm, and I love the ocean. I'm obsessed.
And it's Hawaii.
Well, we are on a ship, by the way. So you
So
can see I love the
obviously
ocean.
this is where your heart is.
Yes.
is
Yes.
being around water.
Yes. And so I moved there and started my first business as a dental
Temp
staffing.
agency?
Yeah. Hawaii
Yeah.
Smiles Dental Temp Agency. Sold it 3.5 years later, and since then started another 5 businesses. And I moved from Hawaii to Las Vegas. Wow.
Vegas.
You want to talk about Vegas?
I've been to Vegas.
I don't know if we have time on the podcast for that.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think I have time either. I'll just put it like this. It should be a prerequisite for any single man before marriage, because you have no interest in anything
After that. You've seen it all.
Yep, you've seen it all. And
I believe that.
I mean, you
could walk the strip and see it all.
But I grew the businesses basically from Vegas. And one of the businesses, I was coaching dental teams. And so I got to a point where I was coaching 23 teams throughout the United States, as Vegas being my hub. And then one thing led to the next, but I don't want to talk. No more business talk. We can talk about Smiles at Sea a little bit or something, but
Because we are having a blast at Smiles at Sea.
Yes, this has been fantastic.
So Smiles at Sea, what is this? 4th? 5th? 4th?
this is it's really like the second annual Smiles at Sea, but I had a little small ortho one.
Okay, yes.
There was 100 that came there,
Uh-huh.
and so that wasn't really that good, but I was just trying it out, just trying different things out. So I won't do an ortho one ever again.
Ortho is a hard area to break into.
I thought that it would be like a perfect area to go into. Well, actually, I ended up hiring some consultants. I don't need to say their name, but they convinced me that ortho was going to be just the one where we're going to fill a ship and this, that, and the other. It was because the teams for ortho teams are 10 to 20 people.
Right.
Come to find out, most orthodontists are not trying to spend money on 10 to 20 people.
Coming from ortho at the very beginning of my career,
Yes.
that's where I started at 17.
Wow. And you said that you were in pedo when you first got
Perio.
out. Oh, perio. So I was in pedo whenever I first came out as a hygienist.
I want to go so far down the spectrum from pedo.
You don't like kids? Do you have any kids?
No, don't want them. Don't need them.
Don't want 'em?
Nope.
Can I tell you though? I worked in pedo coming out of school, and it's not the kids. I loved working with kids. Kids are great. It's the
Yeah.
parents.
Are
Yes.
The parents are
you're
the
so right.
nightmares.
they? Okay, fair enough. I would get that. They make the kids.
Right.
I only like children I can discipline.
Yeah.
If I can't
Interesting.
discipline them, I don't know.
You can
Because-
discipline my kids if you ever meet them.
See, people that allow me to say, no, why are you biting your sister? Don't bite your sister.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get mad at me for saying that to your child, I don't need your child in my life.
Just don't slap my kids. Other than that,
Oh,
we're
I
all
would
good.
not probably ever hit a child. I would hit my nephews.
Well, they deserve it.
They probably deserve it because I love them. But no, I don't want. If I can't say something to your child because they are acting out, obviously,
Mhm.
I just don't need to be.
Did
part
you like
of your
pedo?
life.
Did you like
I'm obsessed with pedo.
Yeah?
I love pedo. The only reason why I stayed
Which
so
is
long.
amazing. I want people like you, and I will take the geriatric.
You take the geriatric patients over
The
pedo?
Minted,
She's
crazy,
crazy.
elderly patients. I think they're
People she can relate
hilarious.
to, basically. is
I
what
felt
she's
like it was.
saying.
So, I
Yes,
honestly
I
thought it
think
was so
they're
difficult.
hilarious.
I thought it was so difficult to clean, the geriatric patients, which is probably why you have, issues with people dying from dirty teeth.
But
Isn't that
don't
Angie
you-
Stone?
Angie Stone.
Yes,
Shout out to
I
Angie.
heart her so much. But I think this is a great discussion of why find what you love
Yeah.
to do and then move into that side of hygiene. Because if you like, if you put me in hygiene, pedo, I would hate hygiene. I would. And I started in ortho, and granted, I mean, that's not pedo, but it is. Like, I'm more working with teenagers. Like, I can kind of cut up with them a little bit more. But I appreciate the demented Alzheimer process. And not appreciate, just respect that degeneration. And I love working with them. So that's my niche. So
I kind of feel though that's what a lot of the message that I see coming from you though is trying to help people find their niche.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. In clinical, there's actually a lot of different niches, and I want to say one of them is pedo, one of them is ortho. There's there's public health, special needs. I mean, there's so many different.
Yeah. Implants, all of that you talk about.
Yep, there's a million things to do, but I want to say my specialty or my love is actually outside of clinical. It's absolutely not inside. I cannot stand to be in an op longer than like a couple of hours unless I'm on a mission, which I'm obsessed with missions.
Yes.
And actually, the plan is hopefully you and Michelle can help me with this for April is to get a mission in the Bahamas for Smiles at Sea for dentistry meets nursing.
I think we have some contacts probably that we could work something out with you. We'll help you.
Yep, absolutely.
But, yeah, we love it.
April is.
It's April.
Opportunities at
No,
sea.
April
Okay.
28th through May 1st. So Friday to Monday is Smiles at Sea dentistry meets nursing.
Okay.
And it's actually not to throw any specials out there, but it's only $650 before November 1st, which is the most inexpensive price.
Throw that out there.
Yeah, throw it out there.
Throw it out there. Okay.
most-
So
Let everyone know.
November what?
November 1st
Okay.
is the deadline,
All right.
and the first 100 people that book before November 1st are only we're offering it for $650.
And that's
That's
the
insane.
cruise and sea?
Cruise
Or-
and 12C and all the food and
Holy
entertainment
hell.
and
All
yes.
It's amazing.
All
Yep.
right.
It's really
Yes.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Where's it leaving out of?
It's leaving out of Miami and headed to
Miami.
the Bahamas.
It's gonna be great.
So it's going to be 6 hours with nurses in a separate room, 6 hours with dental in a separate room, and then 6 hours together interdisciplinary
That's where it's at.
in one room,
Yes.
followed by an open mic session where we're going to ask the experts. So I'll have 3 experts of nursing, 3 experts in dental, and we're going to ask some hot topics.
You know, my thesis was in ICU care.
So you're trying to say you should be the
No.
expert, huh?
I'm saying that's where my
Please
heart
don't let her
is.
be the expert.
No, I don't need to be the expert because I'm not physically in it, but
Yeah.
that is where my heart is at. Collaboration.
Mhm.
Like, we need to be working together as professions.
Yes.
It's
So
stupid.
where did that come from, though? This collaborative nurses and dental professionals come.
Let me be
about?
honest.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Have you met Andrew and I?
Yeah.
What's
You
that?
should be
Yeah, I know,
honest.
right?
This is brutal.
It honestly was a business move. I mean, to be honest with you, it was really a business
No,
move.
that's
But-
fine.
And the reason was is because I wanted to see somebody who had enough money, just like dental hygienists, dental professionals,
Yeah.
and there needed to be a whole bunch of them. And it just so happened to be nurses.
Medical, yeah.
So I'm like, well, man, doesn't it make sense just to have the conferences together to save on resources?
Sure.
And so I'm saving on resources by doing that, but then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Interdisciplinary, holy crap. Wouldn't that be
Yep.
amazing? Like, as a dental hygienist now, I hold my license still in Hawaii and Ohio. And I would love to go to a CE
true.
with nurses and really to learn from them as well. It's
Yeah.
not just to, like, teach them, like, hey, you need to be cleaning people's teeth or placing varnish, whatever,
No.
but to actually hear their perspective. I'm
Sure,
so
sure.
interested.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just like it's going to be a very unique conference. I think it's going to sell out.
I think so,
That'd be
too.
awesome.
That's a great idea. A lot of interest so far from the people I've talked to about it.
So in just 1 month, I've marketed it, and in 1 month, we have had over 250,000 nurses reached, and I want to say about 200 and something dental professionals reached. Jason, who is my partner, who answers the phone for Smiles at Sea and books the cruises, he's the travel guy, Dental J.
Our buddy.
He had 150 voicemails.
Oh, shit. Poor guy.
Yeah, and his phone blew up, and now he has to hire, which is a good
That's
thing.
great.
And now I have to hire, which is a good thing. So I'm hiring. Send your email to. No, just kidding.
No, say it. Say it if you really.
I'm really not hiring. I'm actually going to hire my aunt.
Nice.
No.
Yeah,
Keep it in the
keep it
family.
No, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. we'll talk about that in another episode. But anyways, yeah. So the dentistry meets nursing is going to be great, and from the sounds of it, it will sell out. And I also think I'm going to do it. Probably, I'm going to do it every year. I'm not sure, but I'll we'll see how it goes.
If it sells out, why not?
Yeah.
Why not be the push to interdisciplinary collaboration?
Well, guess what I'm doing in September?
Tell me more.
So September 22nd, out of Miami to the Bahamas. I haven't even announced this isn't even on the website yet. I am doing dentistry and pharmacy.
Nice.
So
there's so much legislation going on right now that's basically making pharmacists and physicians and anyone that has to do with pills coordinate their efforts.
Well, why not?
Yes.
Why are we all leading these like parallel paths?
Right.
Without ever crossing to treat this single individual that we are all treating.
Yes.
It's kind of silly when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's a little stupid, actually, I think.
So yes, those are the cruises for next year for dentistry. I'm doing another one in October for EMS.
So you live on a cruise ship?
I live on a cruise ship. EMS, first responders, paramedics, and then nurses again.
Okay.
And then September 14th, I'm doing Smiles and Sea Goes to Europe.
Whoa, wait. Say what? What part of Europe? Where are we talking? Mediterranean?
Italy. Genoa. And that's...
So you're doing a kind of Mediterranean cruise?
I'm doing a weekend cruise out of Italy to a place that I can't pronounce. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair
but
enough.
September 14th.
Of next year.
2017.
Okay. So for us, we're
Yes.
talking... Wait, okay. What month are we? I've
Right
drank
now?
a lot of wine tonight.
September.
We're in September still?
We're still September. So the next cruise will be
April the 28th.
April.
nurses and dental.
Dentistry meets nursing, yep.
And then after that,
After that is going to be September the 14th. Smiles and Sea Goes to Europe.
okay. What is the other cruise that fills your heart?
Oh, this is the best one. So let's talk about opportunities at sea. So I feel that dental professionals need to have other opportunities besides just in clinical. The problem is not a lot of people know how to get out, and they feel really trapped. And it's boring after a while to some. Not to all.
Not
and
to all,
I
but
always
yeah,
say to some. For me, I could not you see me jumping around the
Right.
stage and pacing and this and that. Do you really think it could be an operatory polishing teeth all day?
Truly, like, could you also say, like, that? Yes, that you. That's your personality type. But two,
Yes.
Andrew and I have been in it for a while. I'm well over a decade into it. I still love patient care,
Yeah.
but I like a change.
Yes.
So I think there's a happy medium to
Yep.
still do no patient care and use your dental knowledge, some patient care and use your dental knowledge elsewhere, and then do patient care and become passionate still within it. Like, there's a lot of opportunities, and you're just bringing outside of patient care.
Yes, well, yeah, in a way. I mean, I'm in the office as well because one of my businesses is coaching dental hygienists, coach, and also coaching on ortho for with not for Invisalign, but my own company, teaching them how to grow their Invisalign practice. So I'm in the office, and then I love the mission trips, and it doesn't feel like I'm trapped in an op. It feels like I'm sweating profusely for a reason.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you listen to any of our mission trip ones, like, it is a different beast. It is a completely different beast.
I agree.
The hardened of heart that you become as a clinician in whatever field, you take into a mission, and it
melts it.
It does. It really does. Like,
Yeah.
you become like
A human
iced.
being again.
And then all of a sudden it's melted, and it's not the same.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're working so much harder.
Right.
Hey there, you amazing hygienist. Here in the dental podcasting world, there has been a challenge thrown down. See, in January, the dental podcasting world is coming together for the first annual Dental Podcasting CE Summit. And some of the boys in the podcasting world are having a competition on who can create the best ad for this summit. I'm not saying we here at A Tale of Two Hygienists will create the best ad, yet here we are with this pure gold. I, however, would like to spread the word to all my ladies. Yes, I am currently excluding you hygienists just for a moment. You know I love you. See, as the only girl in this podcasting sausage fest and one of only 2 hygienists that will be at the summit, I want to give you ladies a challenge. Come out and meet me in Nashville, January 26th and 27th, and let's even out this guy-to-girl ratio. In return, you will get to party with me and Andrew while in Nashville, and no one should miss Andrew's first experience in a honky-tonk. Plus, you get CE credits and get to shake hands with some of the podcasters you love to hear. Maybe you want to tell your dentist about this and make it a team weekend. If you would like to see your office thrive and be passionate and relentless in patient care, maybe learn a few dental hacks that can make you an accidental genius and a dentalpreneur, then this is the CE event for you. And because we love our listeners oh so much, we have an offer for you. $200 off with a promo code TALE. That's TALE. This is only good until October 1st, so don't wait. Actually, just pause this podcast and go ahead and sign up at voicesofdentistry.com. I am not asking for a hygiene takeover. Well, maybe I am. Yeah, let's take over this CE Summit with some incredible hygienists. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, come out and meet me and Andrew in Nashville, January 26th and 27th for the first annual Dental Podcasting CE Summit. Visit voicesofdentistry.com now.
Well, I mean, there's the best feeling that I ever have that is duplicatable, easy. I can make it happen is one thing. And I can experience it a couple different ways. So whenever I am going and I'm speaking to kids at the middle schools, high schools, and colleges, whenever I'm speaking to them after I'm done, or I should say before I start, I'll ask them, what do you want to do when you grow up? And you'll hear everything, especially in the middle school. Mm-hmm. You'll hear, I want to work at a restaurant like my dad. You know, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a police officer. I want to be an engineer. I want to make my own clothes. I want to be a heart surgeon, this and that. And so it's music to my ears. And I tell them after they're done every time, you will be that. You can do it. You can make it happen. And then I tell them my story. Too long now for this podcast. And after I tell them my story, I have this line every time of kids that are standing. And I say, if anybody has any questions or doesn't want to say anything, come up and talk to me. I have a line every time. And these kids, when they come up to me, they are just so emotionally bent. And I've bent them in the right direction. And they come up and they give me, like, the biggest hug in the world. That feeling is the best feeling ever, knowing that you changed somebody's life. You know, these kids, when they come up to you and they say, thank you so much, and, you know, is there a way I can stay in contact with you? And I say, absolutely. I've given these kids my contact information for years now, since I was 15. And whenever I get the email saying, Elijah, I just got accepted into college. I'm the first one in my family that's ever made it to college. It's amazing. When I get the emails that said, Elijah, I made it to med school, it's because of you. Thank you so much. You gave me the determination I needed to go and do what I really wanted to do. Or my parents said that I could never be a heart surgeon because I'm not smart enough. And then you told me what you got in your ACT and you still tested into college. These things are the best feeling. I can't explain how amazing the feeling is. And you can duplicate that on the missions. So when you go to the missions, and these kids, some of them are just tiny, the skin and bones. Some of them, you know, they have all these things going on with them. But believe it or not, those kids are so happy.
Oh, yep. They totally are.
Oh, my God, they're so happy. And then if you, like, get them out of pain, or if you give them a smile, or if you even give them attention and you work on them, they give you this best hug ever. And you're, like, in a sweaty operatory half the time. Well, whenever I went to Sri Lanka, it was like that. Philippines is just as worse. And then you're in a sweaty operatory, and you're hot. And I hate being hot. I get hot so easy. That's why most of my pictures have this glistening.
Twice as nice uniforms, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm hot, period. I'll walk around hot. I'm in a tank, and I'm still about sweating. That's why most of my pictures have this gloss on my forehead.
I might be shivering right now.
But that's the feeling that I can duplicate, and I'm obsessed. And I'm obsessed with it. And it's the same one from when I'm in the middle schools and high schools. I agree. And I'm crazy. I'm just crazy about it.
So, opportunities at sea.
Yeah, back full circle. Opportunities at sea. So Opportunities at Sea is essentially we'll go back a minute. I have a Facebook group called Trapped in an Op. That group was made after I did another podcast in which I gave my email out and I was blown up with emails, and I want to help everybody. That's what I'm about, is helping everybody. However, there are so many hours in the day.
What?
Only 24, Michelle.
That's what I hear. Is that true?
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
So I started that group so when somebody asked me a question, I can respond, and then everybody else can read it. So I don't have to repeat myself over and over. It was time efficient. And then I thought, well, I'm going to do a monthly Zoom video call. So now I do these Zoom video calls every month where I'll actually invite the people that are the experts in the industry, the speakers. I'll invite the business owners. I'll invite your people like from, Procter & Gamble, higher up that can teach you, the hiring. Young, Nicole's been on there before. Trish O'Hare's been on there before. The CEO of our association, Ann Petrell, the president, past president now, Joe Rethman. There's so many people that I'll invite on there, and they come on there and they basically give their 5-minute spiel or 10-minute spiel of this is how I got to where I'm at. And they're all people that are doing things outside of the clinical operatory. And so the meetings, they go so good. There's between 20 and 50 people. I decided, you know what? These are supposed to be 1-hour meetings, and they always end up 2 hours, and I still have to cut it short. It's a problem, but it's not really a problem. It's just people.
Great problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm facilitating the calls, and I'm chiming in, and I'm helping encouraging these people that want to get there. And basically, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it on a cruise. I'm going to do that on a cruise. So I asked on Facebook, I said, who would be interested in doing this in person with mentors? How about having a big brother or a big sister, that's there as your mentor and that you have the relationship? So I created Opportunities at Sea. It's a similar concept to Smiles at Sea where you're building relationships. There'll be people on this boat this weekend where you're going to build a relationship with that you didn't know, and you'll have that relationship for a while. You'll have a bond, and you'll probably come back every year and experience it again. Mm-hmm. Similar situation to Opportunities at Sea, where I'm bringing 4 industry experts, and I'm bringing 10 mentees. So we have the mentors and we have the mentees, and there's basically the entire time we are teaching and telling our stories and telling how we fell on our face, telling what not to do, what to do, how to get there, and encouraging these individuals to do something different and to make a difference. And so we're keeping it to 10 because it's a charity event. When I say charity event, I mean I make nothing. I come out of pocket for it. There is no registration for it.
Wow.
And on top of there being no registration, I'm having companies sponsor people to come on the cruise, which is another huge incentive, for the people to come in the first place. And so they leave there with a vision and with goals. So one of the last things that we do is I have them all write on paper. And this paper that they write, they will then say it out loud to everybody in the round table. It's like a conference where we'll end up at. And I have them write in the paper not 5 goals or where they want to be at in 5 years. I have them close their eyes for just a couple minutes and have them think to themselves, I want you to wake up in the morning and tell me what life is like a year from now and talk as if it already happened and if you're living it right now. So for an example, they would say, I woke up out of bed and I actually woke up 15 minutes early because I'm no longer working, or I'm not no longer working. I'm no longer sleeping in past my alarm clock and being late. I've knocked that habit out, and I'm actually driving to my office. I'm not driving to my dentist's office that I work for. And I'm actually driving in that car that I always wanted. And I'm no longer having to deal with punching in the clock because now I'm doing what I absolutely love. I'm going and I'm taking care of the community and doing what I've always dreamed of doing. I'm now going to the gym every single day. I make it mandatory. I'm taking care of me because now I'm down 60 pounds in 1 year, and I feel really good about myself. I feel like I can walk upstairs without getting winded. I feel like I can just feel better about myself overall. And so basically I'm having them all write it, their vision, after they close their eyes and think about it and what's happening, and then we read it. And we read it all each other, and it really can be emotional for some people, but it's a bonding moment, right?
So Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
It's about Tony Robbins' business partners on this boat right now,
I know.
Bernie Stoltz.
But have you seen his documentary yet?
No.
Oh, Like the 6th day is like your dream board almost.
Oh, wow.
And talk about it. And it's so emotional.
Yes, really emotional. And then what I do is I take those papers and I scan them in, and they don't get them. And when they accomplish their goal in a year or 2 years, they're actually going to come back and be the mentors. And so the mentors or the mentees that have went will always be invited back. They always can come back and be mentors. However, we're only accepting 10 new mentees each year. And so when they come back, they'll get to read their story and see where they're at. And so the overall experience is just amazing. It's only 2 nights. So I want to say it's Friday night and it's Saturday night, December the 2nd. And we're looking for 10 people that are looking to change their life.
So can I ask real quick, who are you looking for?
Who am I looking for? I'm looking for dental hygienist. It can be a dental assistant. To be honest with you, it can be a dentist, a dental professional that is looking to have their life changed and for mentorship. And a dental hygienist that's willing to do the number one thing that I feel is the biggest and the most reason for success, and that's follow through. Because I'll tell you what, I've mentored hundreds of dental professionals before, and the follow through is horrendous most of the time. People have a lot of good ideas. They have a lot of dreams. But I'm a major advocate of making those dreams turn to reality through the follow-through. And I can't say it enough time. I feel like a broken record sometime. But the follow-through is everything.
So someone maybe who went into dentistry thinking that's what they loved, and then maybe got into it and was like, nah, lost their passion, or just maybe went into the wrong side of it, whatever it is.
Yes.
But feels that that's still the right avenue for them. But they need to find the passion, need to find the excitement or the direction. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is for them.
This wouldn't be for them.
No,
because this is all out of. Actually, take that back, because we had a public health mentor, and that was in clinical. Mm-hmm. So that would be for them in that capacity. But you would need to
just like maybe they wanted to use their dental knowledge.
Okay.
Clinical is all they've ever known.
Yes.
Kind of lost their passion for clinical.
Yes.
Maybe they need to be rejuvenated in clinical, but maybe they found something like, I still love clinical. I'm not working in clinical right now. I still love it, but it migrated me out of it, but I still love what I do every day. But I needed that direction to find it. Right.
Yes, you could. Yep. So that would be perfect for opportunities at sea. Oh, and so basically it doesn't cost you anything to go there. However, something like this would normally cost a couple of $1,000s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll take donations, and those donations, 100% of them go to charity. And the charity is called Beyond the Game. It's a charity for kids.
What does it do? What is Beyond the Game?
Beyond the Game, it's a charity that one of my best friends, Devin Jordan, came up with. And it's actually taking kids that are athletes, and it's about teaching them that there's more to, these sports than just the sports themselves. It's about education. It's about doing the right thing, keeping them off the streets, giving them scholarships. A lot of people that go to college for, say, football or basketball, they don't make it to the NFL level or the NBA level, and then what are you left with? Exactly. So it's teaching these kids the right thing, keeping them on the right path, getting them off the street, giving them scholarships, and everything that I stand for. I mentioned before that I do the motivational speaking. And I do a lot of motivational speaking for kids in the inner city, because I've been there every other weekend when I wasn't on the farm. I've seen this stuff. I have friends that are 6 feet under. I have friends that are attorneys. I have friends that are business people. So that's everything that I stand for, and that's why I decided to do the charity Beyond the Game.
So how do these potential mentees get a hold of you? How do they apply for this?
Is it an essay? How do you choose these people?
Yeah.
Too?
Right. Well, basically at this point, it's a first come, first serve. But I evaluate and interview everyone.
Okay.
I want to see where everybody's at, because if they're not ready,
yeah,
it's not really for them. So essentially, what they would do is they could email me, and they would email me at Elijah@basicdentistry.com.
Spell your name first.
ELIJAH, and then basicdentistry.com.
Good. Okay.
And so they can get a hold of me that way, and we'll do an interview process. And as long as everything is good, I'll reach out and see what company wants to sponsor them, and then go from there.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sounds pretty awesome.
It does.
Well, we got about 10 minutes left, so maybe some rapid fire questions. Because I would like to know, like, your biggest failure.
My biggest failure.
And your biggest success. Whether it's business or not business.
Whew.
And how did you rebound from it?
Damn, man.
Huh.
Hey, if I'm going to ask some, like, real good questions,
Yeah.
this is the man to ask.
He's not even being pulled. Does anybody know where you are right now?
Yeah,
Like-
there's been 2 people that stopped by here making faces.
Yeah.
I've ignored. What was
very rare to get you in, like...
Yeah, it feels
not-
good, actually. And I don't have my cell phone on me. Like, dang, this is how people
This is
communicate.
great.
Yeah. So my biggest failure, dang.
This is why we call it rapid fire. Didn't
I
give
know.
Him a
I'm-
chance to even
I
think
mean,
about it for a
everybody
minute.
experiences failure.
so differently, right?
You know what? This is what comes to my mind. This is off topic, but I feel like it's my biggest failure. My biggest failure is not making enough time to communicate with my old friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's all of our biggest
being-
failures.
That's a big
And
one.
being wrapped up in building my businesses. And so, because of that biggest failure, I've recently lost one of my friends due to a heroin overdose.
Oh.
Now, a friend from
Sorry.
I'm
friend
so
from high
sorry.
school going into college, heroin is taken over. It's an epidemic. Like, it's horrible. And I feel horribly bad because I didn't, he went to my mom's dental office within the past year to get his, cosmetic teeth done, this and that. And we messaged back and forth, we'll see each other when we're in town. We'll get together one of these times. And it never happened. And my biggest failure is not reaching out to those people. So I've made a conscious effort to make the time to reach out to my old friends. So I would say that that's my biggest failure.
An accomplishment, maybe?
Biggest accomplishment.
But, like, would you say that now that you're reaching out to them, that's a big accomplishment, too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or correct?
Well, I've seen how you interact with your daughter, so I'm going to assume that that's your biggest success and your biggest accomplishment ever is your daughter.
My biggest success being my daughter. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could call that a success. I would say that's just more a part of life. I love my daughter to death. I don't know if I would still call that a success or not. I mean, yes, it's a win. It's in the win category.
Big win, man. I got a 4-year-old little girl.
Yeah,
I know.
I love her to death.
It's a big win.
It's not. It's a big win. So, I would say no. Overall, as far as success goes, my biggest success is whenever I decided that I was going to focus on just giving back. That was a success and that was a win for me.
Yeah.
And once I started giving back so much and stopped building me, I guess, and started building up other people, I then achieved so much more success that has really been crazy just from trying to help and build other people. So I would say the decision to dedicate my life to helping other people was the biggest success that I've ever had.
There's number 4 and 5 waving at you right now.
He said private event.
That's why we put it up there. So
Yeah.
I have people over there waiting too.
So, okay, one more question then.
It's okay.
What's your end game?
Don't worry about those people.
What is the biggest success? I mean, what do you want out of all this? What does success look like for you?
What does success look like for me? Okay, well, I want to sell. I'll probably end up selling all my businesses except for Smiles at Sea. And I will go on the road.
Because you'll live on a cruise ship?
No, I'm not going to live on a cruise ship. But
Own
my
the cruise ship.
so the end game, right?
Yeah, end game.
It's to sell all my businesses except for Smiles at Sea, and just go and speak to middle schools, high schools, and colleges. That's my end game. That's my end game.
Motivational speaking, not dentistry at that point.
Motivational speaking. No, I mean, I speak a lot in dentistry.
Right.
But it's just because speaking is easy, and I get to, have fun. It doesn't sound like it's not a job to me. It's not like cleaning teeth. I get to travel. I get to intertwine my businesses. So, no, it's not speaking in dentistry. It's speaking to kids and changing the kids' lives. That is my end game. That's what I want to do.
That's awesome.
And when I reach that point, I mean, you never know. It's hard for me not to do another business or other things. So I don't know if I'll ever stop. Bernie and I just had a conversation about that. I asked him. I said, "Does that drive? Does that disease that we have to stop building businesses and stop Does these
Nope.
ideas, they stop coming? Like, when are you going to retire? And he's like, I'm never going to retire.
He was great, by
Most
the way.
people who say like they retire is because they are getting out of something they don't love.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if you stop the ideas, like, I mean, Andrew and I are totally guilty of this. Like, we have 4 jobs most of the times, but we love that. Like, that's what makes us happy. We're exhausted. We're stressed out all the damn time. We're traveling. Our families miss us. But retiring from that, I would be so bored. I'd be so bored.
I think so too. That's
Like,
a good point.
So it's, yeah, when does it stop? But if it stopped, would you be happy?
No.
No.
I
you
can't sit
wouldn't.
at home either.
No,
all the time.
exactly.
You can't sit at all. You're all.
Exactly.
I saw you doing the stairs over in this other room though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you doing? Sit down.
Right. So yeah, I think that's the end game, and as far as these ships are concerned, the end game for that is filling the ships because
That'd be great.
I'm gonna tell you, and it's going to happen. It is going to happen.
I believe it.
I mean, you can't tell me that there's 50,000 that are going to ADA or 60,000 going to the Greater New York or 40,000 going to Hinman or this and that, and I can't put 2,500 people and fill a ship. Get out of here! It's going to happen. It's
damn straight.
Yes, and I'm excited for it, and I'm gonna have a whole bunch of professionals because I'm not thinking this in a box, thinking it's just going to be dental and that's it.
Well, we think you're awesome. We appreciate your time because we know
Absolutely.
you are main man on this ship right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
we
Thank
stole
you.
you from apparently a lot of people that are sitting here and waiting. But thanks.
Yes.
We appreciate it. We appreciate
Absolutely.
sending us on this trip too.
Yes.
Well, how about maybe one more time with your email?
Yes, anybody can reach out to me at Elijah, ELIJAH, at basicdentistry.com, and you can also contact me or book me for any speaking events at ElijahDesmond.com, DESMOND, and that is attached with all my websites on it. It's my personal site.
And
Awesome.
check out Opportunities at Sea.
Check out Opportunities at Sea as well.
Where do they
Yes.
find that? Is that a website? Where do
No,
we
it's a
find that?
Facebook page.
Okay.
It's a Facebook page.
Opportunities at Sea on Facebook.
Yep.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Elijah.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, too.